Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something powerful today. You are not stuck. You are not too late, and you are certainly not too broken. You are becoming. Every single day is another step in the right direction, if you choose it. The secret to growth isn't found in giant leaps. It's in daily decisions. It's not about waking up and changing everything overnight. It's about waking up and choosing just one thing, to do better, to differently, to do with intention. Start with your thoughts. What are you telling yourself? Because if you want to go higher, you've got to think higher. You can't expect to live a positive life with a negative mind. When you wake up, don't say, I'm tired. Say, I'm ready. Don't say, I can't. Say, I will. Change the narrative and you'll change the results. And then be faithful in the small things. Sometimes we want the breakthrough before we build the habits. But growth is found in repetition. You brush your teeth every day, not once a month, right? So feed your mind, your heart, and your purpose every single day. Even 1% better adds up over time. Speak life. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Stop cursing your future with doubt. Speak blessings, speak success, speak improvement, even when you don't feel it. Especially when you don't feel it, your words are seeds. What are you planning? Look at your circle. If you're always around people who tear down, you'll start to shrink back. But when you surround yourself with dreamers, doers, believers, encouragers, you rise, you grow, you see what's possible. Your community is either feeding your fire or smothering it. Choose wisely. Learn every day, even if it's 10 minutes of reading, one podcast, one new word, one question asked. Growth doesn't require perfection, it requires intention. And the more you know, the more you grow. Lastly, celebrate the small wins. You got up earlier today, that's a win. You chose peace over reacting, that's progress. You stayed consistent for 3 days in a row, that's growth. Don't wait until the mountain is climbed to clap. Cheer yourself on every step of the way. You may not be where you want to be yet, but guess what? You're not where you used to be. You are improving. You are rising. You are becoming the best version of yourself one day at a time. So keep showing up, keep choosing better, and keep believing your next level is already on its way. Your mindset is the foundation of everything you will ever build in your life. Before a person improves their body, their career, or their relationships, they must first improve the way they think. Why? Because the mind is the command center. Your thoughts are the architects of your actions, and your actions determine your future. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you think about your life. Many people wake up every day already defeated, not because the world has declared them defeated, but because their thoughts have. They wake up thinking they aren't good enough, that they'll never get ahead, that nothing ever works out for them. But the truth is, what you think consistently, you start to believe, and what you believe, you begin to live out. That's why mindset isn't just a motivational phrase, it's a daily practice. To grow daily, you must intentionally train your mind. You wouldn't expect muscles to grow without regular workouts, and the same is true for your thoughts. Every morning, before the noise of the world gets in, you've got to speak life over yourself. Tell yourself what's possible. Tell yourself what you're capable of. Remind yourself of who you are, not who the world says you are, but who you know deep down you were born to be. Because your inner voice will either become your coach or your critic, and whichever one you listen to the most will shape your day. A strong mindset starts with awareness. You must become aware of the thoughts you think, the words you speak, and the beliefs you carry. Ask yourself, are my thoughts building me up or tearing me down? Are my beliefs aligned with where I want to go, or are they keeping me stuck in the past? Too many people are trying to step into a new season while dragging around an old mindset. But a new level requires new thinking. You can't enter growth with thoughts rooted in limitation. Now, having a positive mindset doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending not to feel pain. What it means is refusing to let those things define you. It's about seeing the situation through a lens of hope, strength, and faith. It's choosing to believe there is a solution even when it's not obvious yet. It's refusing to be ruled by fear, doubt, or insecurity. It's taking control of your inner world so that the outer world doesn't break you. Your mindset also determines how you respond to failure. A fixed mindset sees failure as the end, a confirmation of inadequacy. But a growth mindset sees failure as a lesson, a stepping stone, a temporary detour. When you carry the right mindset, even setbacks become setups. Even disappointments can be redefined as redirections. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? A strong mindset asks, what can I learn from this? That shift in perspective alone can change your entire trajectory. The truth is you become what you continually focus on. If you focus on the obstacles, they will grow. If you focus on the opportunities, they will multiply. Every day, you're either feeding your fears or feeding your faith. You're either replaying what hurt you or rehearsing what will help you. You get to decide. The mind, like a garden, will grow whatever you plant. So plant truth, plant courage, plant belief, plant patience, then water it daily with gratitude, vision, and action. Don't wait for the perfect circumstances to shift your mindset. Shift your mindset and you'll start to shift your circumstances. You may not be able to control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you think about it. And when your thoughts change, your feelings change. When your feelings change, your actions change. And when your actions change, your life changes. That's the power of starting with the right mindset. It becomes the spark that ignites every other area of growth in your life. Improving yourself every day doesn't begin with doing something extraordinary. It begins with doing something consistently. One of the most overlooked yet powerful principles of personal growth is the idea of small daily wins. These are not massive achievements that make headlines or go viral on social media. These are the quiet victories: making your bed in the morning, finishing a chapter of a book, choosing water over soda, writing in your journal, practicing patience when it's easier to react. They may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they compound into transformation. The truth is, real change is rarely instant. Most of the success stories you admire were built behind the scenes in the dark when no one was watching. The person who seems to have it all together didn't wake up one day and suddenly arrive at greatness. They showed up for themselves day after day, whether they felt like it or not. They understood that consistency is more powerful than intensity. You can go to the gym for 5 hours once, or you can go for 30 minutes 5 times a week. Which one creates lasting change? It's the consistent effort, not the occasional burst, that builds lasting results. Small daily wins help build momentum, and momentum is what makes improvement sustainable. Think about a snowball. At first it's tiny, almost nothing, but as it rolls it gathers mass, speed, and strength. Your daily efforts are like that. The first few days may feel slow, like nothing is changing, but give it time, keep showing up, keep stacking those wins. Eventually, your progress becomes visible, not just to others, but to yourself. And once you see growth, you'll be motivated to keep going. One of the biggest lies that holds people back is the belief that they have to do something big to make their day count. That's just not true. If you read 1 page a day, that's 365 pages in a year. That's several books. If you write 1 paragraph a day, you can have a full manuscript in months. If you walk for just 20 minutes a day, that's over 120 hours of movement in a year. Don't underestimate the power of the small done consistently. Another reason why small daily wins matter is because they help you rebuild trust with yourself. Many people struggle with self-doubt not because they're incapable, but because they've made promises to themselves they didn't keep. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," but don't, you chip away at your self-confidence. But when you say, "I'll just do 5 minutes today," and you follow through, something powerful happens. You start to believe in your word again. You start to trust yourself. That's where inner confidence comes from, not perfection, but follow through. Daily wins also help rewire your brain to look for the good. When you track your progress and focus on what you're doing right, you train your mind to see growth, not gaps. That shift in perspective builds positive momentum. It fuels your motivation. Instead of thinking, "I have so far to go," you start thinking, "Look how far I've come." That mindset doesn't just make you feel better, it makes you better. When you start focusing on small wins, you also learn to stay present. So many people are either stuck in the regrets of yesterday or anxious about the uncertainties of tomorrow. But growth only happens in the now. Today is all you really have. What can you do today that your future self will thank you for? It might be small, it might feel like it doesn't matter, but do it anyway. Every positive step you take today becomes part of the foundation you stand on tomorrow, so don't despise small beginnings. Don't get discouraged if your progress isn't dramatic. Instead, fall in love with the process. Celebrate your ability to show up even when it's hard, because the person who improves themselves daily, even just a little, is unstoppable over time. They may not be the fastest, the loudest, or the flashiest, but they are steady, and steady wins the race. Your daily discipline is designing your destiny. Keep stacking those small wins and watch your life transform. Your words are powerful, far more powerful than most people realize. The way you speak about yourself, your future, your circumstances, and your potential creates either the momentum for growth or the weight that holds you back. Every word you speak is like a seed, and what you plant today will eventually grow into the harvest of your tomorrow. That's why it's so essential to speak life over yourself. This isn't just about being positive, it's about being intentional with the language you use, because your words are not just sounds, they are declarations. They are the script you hand to your mind and body to follow. Many people go through life unconsciously speaking defeat over themselves. They say things like, "I'm not smart enough," "I'll never change," "That's just how I am," or "I'm always messing things up." They don't realize that those words are digging deep into their subconscious and shaping how they behave, what they believe, and ultimately what they experience. If you constantly speak like a failure, your mind will begin to accept it as truth. But the same way negative words can break you down, positive and empowering words can build you up. You get to choose which one you will feed. Speaking life is not about ignoring your challenges, it's about framing them in a way that gives you power instead of stealing it. Instead of saying, I can't do this, you say, this is hard, but I'm capable of figuring it out. Instead of saying, I've always failed at this, you say, I've learned from every setback and I'm growing stronger. These kinds of affirmations don't change the facts, they change your perspective. And perspective is everything. When your perspective changes, the way you show up changes. Your energy changes. Your actions align with the belief that something good can happen. It's also important to recognize that the world will try to speak labels over you, but you don't have to accept every label someone tries to place on your life. Maybe someone told you years ago that you weren't good enough, that you were average, or that you would never amount to much. Maybe they didn't believe in your potential. But here's the truth: you are not what others have called you. You are what you answer to. So stop repeating their words and start replacing them with your own. Begin to speak your potential, not your pain. Speak what's possible, not what's broken. Speak what you believe, not just what you see. Even in the privacy of your thoughts, be careful how you talk to yourself. Your inner dialogue matters. Would you speak to someone you love the way you sometimes speak to yourself? If not, it's time to change the script. Encourage yourself. Motivate yourself. Speak to yourself like someone who deserves to win, because you do. Look in the mirror and speak life. Tell yourself you are improving every day, that you are worthy of good things, that you are growing, learning, and becoming. It might feel strange at first, but over time, those words will sink in. And once you believe it, you'll start to act like it. There's a reason why the most successful people in the world speak affirmations every morning. They understand that the first voice they hear in the day needs to be one of belief and expectation. If you're always waiting for someone else to encourage you, you might wait forever. But if you learn to encourage yourself, to prophesy your progress, to declare your direction, you'll never be without motivation. You'll carry it with you wherever you go. So today, don't wait for circumstances to change before you speak life. Don't wait until you feel better or look better. Speak it now. Speak strength when you feel weak. Speak peace when you feel anxious. Speak purpose when you feel lost. Because words don't just describe your reality, they help create it. And when you speak life over yourself daily, you're not just hoping for improvement. You're commanding it one word at a time. Your environment has a powerful influence on your evolution. Who you surround yourself with, what you listen to, what you watch, what you read, all of it either lifts you or limits you. If you want to grow daily and become the best version of yourself, you must be intentional about the atmosphere you're placing your mind and heart in. Think of your environment as the soil for your life. Even the most gifted seed won't grow if it's planted in toxic soil. And the same goes for your dreams, your confidence, and your potential. You can't expect to stay motivated and focused if you're constantly around voices of doubt, fear, or negativity. If your circle is full of people who always complain, always gossip, or always talk about why things won't work, you're going to start picking up on that energy. Even if you don't realize it at first, over time you'll begin to think like them, speak like them, and believe like them. That's how powerful influence is. So if you're serious about improving yourself every day, you've got to do a real audit of your environment. Ask yourself, who is in my life that makes me feel hopeful, strong, and inspired, who challenges me to be better, to dream bigger, to stay disciplined, and on the other hand, who drains me, discourages me, or holds me back. Sometimes the people who limit us the most are the ones closest to us, not out of malice, but out of fear. They may love you, but they're stuck. They may care about you, but they don't see what's possible for themselves, so how can they see it for you? That's why you need people around you who believe in growth, people who don't just tell you to settle, people who encourage your dreams, not mock them, people who speak faith, not fear. When you're around that kind of energy, something in you comes alive. You start to believe again, you start to stretch your thinking, you begin to expect more, not only from life, but from yourself. It's not just about people either, it's about what you consume. What are you filling your mind with on a daily basis? Is it scrolling through negativity on social media? Is it watching entertainment that keeps you stuck in distraction and drama? Or is it listening to podcasts, reading books, following mentors online who fuel your purpose and teach you something? Every single day, you have the power to create an environment, even digitally, that feeds your goals. You don't need to wait until you find the perfect community in person. You can start by building a digital circle that pushes you forward. Follow those who challenge you to grow. Unfollow those who make you feel less than. Listen to voices that lift your vision. Improving your environment also means creating spaces of peace and clarity. If your home, your workspace, or your schedule is full of chaos, your mind will reflect that. But if you take time to organize, to bring in order, to build routines that make space for quiet and reflection, you'll notice a shift. Creativity flows more easily. Discipline becomes more manageable. Energy increases. You don't have to overhaul everything all at once. Start small, clean your desk, wake up 10 minutes earlier for silence, light a candle, write in a journal. These little practices help anchor you. They remind your mind and body that you are creating space for growth. The truth is, we become like the environments we dwell in. That's why being intentional about where you place yourself is not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you want to improve daily, don't just focus on your actions. Pay attention to your surroundings. Elevate your atmosphere. Place yourself in spaces of learning, of inspiration, of encouragement. Put yourself where growth is normal and dreaming is welcome. And when you do, you'll start to rise, not by force, but by the natural pull of the environment you've chosen. The right environment doesn't just support your growth, it accelerates it. Discipline is the bridge between who you are now and who you're becoming. It's not always exciting, and it's definitely not always easy, but it is absolutely necessary if you want to grow daily and improve yourself in any area of life. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's saying yes to your purpose and no to your excuses. And if you can develop the ability to stay consistent when the motivation fades, you'll start to see results that others only dream of. The world often celebrates talent and potential, but what really separates those who reach their goals from those who don't is self-discipline. You can have all the talent in the world, but without discipline, talent will sit unused. You can have big dreams, but without discipline, those dreams remain ideas instead of becoming reality. It's not what you say you'll do that changes your life, it's what you actually do. And discipline is what helps you follow through on your intentions. Discipline is a muscle. It grows stronger the more you use it. At first, it might feel uncomfortable to wake up earlier, to choose a workout over extra sleep, to stick to a budget, or to say no to distractions. But every time you choose discipline, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. And over time, those small choices build identity. You don't just do disciplined things, you become a disciplined person. That identity becomes part of you, and with it comes a confidence that can't be shaken. The truth is, motivation will come and go. Some days you'll feel inspired, full of energy and clarity. Other days you'll feel tired, unsure, or frustrated. That's when discipline steps in and carries you forward. Discipline doesn't rely on how you feel. It relies on the commitment you made. It's the voice inside that says, I may not feel like it right now, but I'm doing it anyway because I said I would. And that integrity, showing up when it's hard, builds something far more powerful than hype. It builds trust with yourself. Discipline also brings freedom. It may sound like a contradiction, but it's not. When you're disciplined, you're in control. You're not ruled by impulses or temporary emotions. You're not stuck reacting to everything around you. You know what your priorities are, and you make decisions that align with your vision. That brings peace. That brings stability. People who live without discipline often feel scattered, always chasing what feels good in the moment. But those who choose discipline live with a sense of direction. They're not perfect, but they're progressing. It's important to realize that discipline is not about being harsh or rigid with yourself. It's about being committed to your growth. It's about making decisions today that your future self will thank you for. It's about setting boundaries, creating structure, and choosing actions that align with your values and goals. And yes, you'll have moments where you fall short. You'll have days when you mess up. That's part of the process. Discipline doesn't demand perfection. It simply asks that you don't quit. If you want to build more discipline, start by making small promises to yourself and keeping them. Don't try to change everything at once. Pick one habit, one area, and be faithful with it. Maybe it's 10 minutes of reading each morning. Maybe it's drinking more water, or limiting your screen time, or going for a walk after dinner. It doesn't have to be grand. What matters is that you're training yourself to do what you said you'd do. That's how the foundation is built, brick by brick. Eventually, you'll look back and realize that what once felt like hard work has become second nature. Your habits will support you. Your routine will carry you. You won't be starting over every Monday because you've developed a rhythm that keeps you moving forward. That's the reward of discipline. It makes hard things easier with time, and it turns dreams into plans and plans into progress. If you stay committed to discipline daily, quietly, steadily, you will become unstoppable. The progress might not always be loud, but it will always be real. And in time, your consistency will speak louder than any excuse ever could. Progress is never a straight line. There will be seasons of momentum where everything seems to fall into place, and there will be moments of struggle where nothing seems to be moving at all. But the key to daily improvement lies in one powerful truth: never stop learning. No matter where you are in life, no matter how much you've achieved or how far you feel from your goals, there is always room to grow. When you adopt the mindset of a lifelong learner, you transform every experience, success or failure, into a stepping stone towards something greater. Learning isn't limited to books or classrooms. Learning is an attitude. It's a way of seeing the world where every interaction, every challenge, every conversation becomes a lesson. When you choose to learn, you become aware. You start to notice patterns. You ask better questions. You become more curious than critical, more open than defensive. This mindset keeps you humble and hungry. humble enough to know you don't know everything, and hungry enough to keep reaching for more.